Hello.
We're live.
Welcome back to the Doing Something podcast, episode 3.
In the new studio, man.
New studio, new vibes.
We made it.
Moving up.
We're moving up, man. I'm really happy with this setup, honestly.
No, I like this setup a lot better, actually.
It's clean.
It's just...
I guess we'll have to wait and see how the acoustics sound, but I think it's sounding pretty good so far from the sound check. But let us know what you think. If you're listening at home right now. Hey man, it's been a busy news week.
Yeah, actually a lot busier. It's been really quick, actually.
I think most notably we kind of touched on this a bit on the last episode. But our boy Bobby's free, man.
Yeah, Bobby Shmurda is free.
The hat has returned to the atmosphere.
The thing is, I wasn't expecting to be like... No, that sounds corny. But this just seems too good to be true is what I'm trying to say. Like, Bobby Shmurda is free.
Where were you when Bobby went to jail, bro?
I was in my first year of college.
Were you actually?
Yeah, 2014.
Yeah, I guess
2015 maybe?
Yeah.
Yeah, 2014.
Oh,
I was This was just right when Bobby was popping. Everyone was excited about him. I think I told a story about it the last podcast or this podcast.
Yeah, because all in all, he did like 7 years altogether, while he was awaiting his trial and stuff.
Yeah, right? I was just 18. I was trying to figure shit out for myself. Now I'm 25 years old. That's crazy.
It's crazy, man.
That's crazy.
I wonder how old Bobby is.
I think he was around our age, 18 maybe.
He's got to be.
Yeah, he was around. Because I'm pretty sure he was around 18.
Now look at Bobby, man. Grown-ass man. Grown-ass man.
But it seems he hasn't skipped a beat.
No, he's ready to get back into it. Just like Rowdy Rebel was.
And
right?
that's just what I love to see, though. Like, cause you can't... Because he couldn't afford to miss a beat because there's all that hype behind him. And then I saw something, it was like... He started only taking his music career seriously after he got into jail, and he was receiving... He said the whole bid, he didn't receive less than 10 fan mail a week.
A week, really?
Yeah.
Damn.
So he was like, man, I got to take this music.
Yeah, I can imagine the streets are missing him.
Yeah,
man.
so...
For real. Well, Quavo like took him home, right?
Quavo picked him up. That was funny. And then you see Bobby with like these 3 white.
The first picture, yeah.
Yeah, and I was like, oh man.
Yeah, I seen that picture. I seen that picture on Twitter, and someone said, you got to start him off with 4s.
Yeah, I was like that. Because I was like, that's true. I just thought that was the truest shit ever. I was like, that's true.
I see another video. He was at like a club or something like that, and this bottle girl or whatever, she was like offering him a drink.
Yeah, and he denied it. Yeah, I saw that.
No, I got water and straight.
Yeah, because apparently he's on parole, or is it probation?
It's
he's
on probation.
I think it's parole. So, but
he's
either
on
way,
conditions.
Either way, he can't. He shouldn't be drinking. I don't think he wants to be drinking right now.
Fair
because at the time, when he got locked up, all he cared about was money and bitches. So
he did some growing up.
Yeah, so he was like, no, like my career. He didn't like. I guess when you blew up the way he did, you couldn't really take it all in until life slows you down. You know what I mean?
Well, and especially the way that he went down, right?
Yeah.
Like, you can't be getting yourself caught up in that shit, right?
Yeah, bullshit.
He just wasted 7 years of his life doing that shit. But he did 6 and he never switched. So
that's fucking impressive.
So that's the G code that he comes out with, right?
Yeah. But that's the thing too, because it's with these New York rappers. It seems as if the NYPD they get these guys, because 6ix9ine, that's the same thing that happened to him. He got just hit with a bunch of charges all at once, racketeering, whatever it may be. But
as far as I know, like the laws are pretty crazy. Like just for like the gun laws in New York are like pretty strict in general, right? Like, I think it was like, I don't know, ever since Giuliani decided to like crack down on like crime and shit like that, like they wanted to like clean up the streets. So, it's been kind of like you always gotta be walking on eggshells there, I guess, if you're involved in that kind of shit, right?
Especially if you're a rapper, because I feel like I'm forgetting someone, because I'm pretty sure that they've hit a lot of New York. Like,
I'm sure there's been a number.
There's been a couple of New York rappers that have just been hit hard with like heavy charges. But
yeah, no doubt. But hey, man, We love to see it, man. I can't wait to hear what he's gonna be coming out with first. You know, like I know Rowdy Rebel's off to a good start, but we can only imagine. Like, who do you think is gonna be on the first Shmurda track?
Well, actually, what happened? Lil Yachty said he was listening to the new Migos track. The new Migos album, and he said he wanted to cry. It was so good. I hope that's true. I honestly hope that's true. So he might be on there.
Like, that's the thing. We were just yesterday.
Quavo picked him up, right?
Yeah, just yesterday we were listening to No Label 2 because it was the 7th anniversary of No Label 2.
Fight Night. You told me that Fight Night was. I was like, this is my favorite. Yeah.
That's my favorite project. I even like that better than Back to the Bando 2.
Wow.
Like, it's got some good ones. Yeah, like Handsome and Wealthy.
Yeah. No, but Call Me Commercial But Culture was my favorite Migo album. That was
okay. Fair enough.
That was straight fire.
Got some bangers.
I think that's when the Migos solidified themselves. You know what I mean? But then
the rest is, they could just phone it in because they're that commercially successful.
Yeah,
right?
I think that's what happened with Culture too, is that they kind of just got lazy and they're like, people were gonna listen to it anyways. Exactly. And guess what? I listened to it anyways.
Exactly.
Right?
Everybody and their mother was listening to the Migos.
Yeah. So
right. But hey, man, I'm excited to see what the future is for a boy Bobby.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Speaking of New York rappers and them getting themselves into trouble, when will 6ix9ine quit, man?
Oh man, 6ix9ine at this point, he's just looking like some little kid who's just crying for clout.
Well, that's the thing. We're talking about the Migos. He's doing anything for clout, right?
Yeah, like literally anything. Because you look at it and you're like, he's literally like putting his neck out on the line. But you think, okay, he's got security, whatever. But he's not the fucking president. That's not going to last forever. The amount of security he has, I don't think he's going to be able to pay that off forever unless all this little cloud chasing he does.
It's obviously getting him a bag, man. Yeah, like he blows up on every YouTube video that he drops. Like that's how he makes his money is off his publicity, right?
Exactly,
and he's basically punking off anybody who he can, take jabs at, right?
Yeah,
he was on live with 600 Breezy. That shit that 600 Breezy said was so funny. He's like, respectfully, I'm not Meek.
No. But that's the thing, though. Like, someone, like, even if it's not even, like, anyone who's connected with, like, those Chicago niggas or anything like that, someone is going to be crazy enough. They're going to try their shot at fucking 6ix9ine.
The thing that I think is, like, corny is that, like 6ix9ine was like posting videos on Instagram of like these just random people.
Yeah,
who are like, they're just excited to see a celebrity, especially one who's so viral like 6ix9ine. Obviously, they're gonna be recording them and shit. And then he comes after him and he's like, "What's up? What's up?
Recording me? You're recording me for clout?" Like, come on.
Like that's exactly what you do.
Yeah,
you're teaching these guys what to do.
Yeah, exactly. But no, I don't know. 6ix9ine, at the end of the day, he's not the president of the United States, and I can't imagine how much that security is costing him. He's gonna have to start.
Well, he's got enough to spend money on that huge ass chain.
That chain was. Oh man, that was a crazy chain.
Dude, that reveal video was actually ridiculous. See that shit? It just keeps on spinning.
It keeps on spinning to the end of the video.
Like, say what you want about 6ix9ine, but like he is an entertainer first and foremost. Man.
This
like,
guy's
that shit was hilarious.
Yeah,
and the chain is crazy.
That chain is crazy. Yeah.
I wonder who did that chain.
I have no idea.
I wonder, like, there's got to be like, there's got to be a point where like as like a famous jeweler, right, who makes jewelry for like big time rappers and stuff like that. There's got to be a point where it's like, okay, is it worth the money to make a chain for 6ix9ine? Because like on one hand, you're getting a lot of publicity just for like, oh yeah, he did this chain. This shit is crazy. Also on the other hand, it's like you're making jewelry for 6ix9ine, right?
Do I want there's gonna be those rappers like you're making jewelry for 6ix9ine.
Exactly. And like, how much business do you lose?
Exactly. So I think that guy probably did it low key, because even like on some of the videos where 6ix9ine posts and he's hanging out with a couple niggas, you rarely see their face, because I don't think any of them want to be like associated. No one wants that smoke. Like, okay, you're the nigga that hangs out with 6ix9ine. Okay, like, what's good? You know what I mean? Because they probably don't have security all the time.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh, I think that was funny. I don't know if you've seen it, but like 6ix9ine also posted the other day on Instagram about how like his weight loss journey.
Oh yeah.
He's posting on his videos of him like real chubby and fat.
But didn't he fucking he overdosed on hydroxycut, those little weight loss pills or something? Because he's trying. Like, the thing is, I didn't think people still did that.
His image is everything, right? So
yeah, but
I mean, he's obviously doing some sort of rebranding. He's growing out facial hair and shit like that.
Yeah, that was pretty weird. But yeah, no, I think it could just work out like every other celebrity does. Like take the.
Who knows? Maybe he is. He was walking on a treadmill in one of those posts,
but. He didn't look.
He was walking pretty slow.
His after pic didn't look that fit, right? But like even then, like when he did overdose on the hydroxycut, it's like you could have just because I'm pretty sure like celebrities have like some pretty like high up like personal trainers that can get you where you want to be in like 3 to 6 months.
Oh, of course.
I mean? Just put in the work.
Of course. Yeah, 6 weeks.
They know what they're doing. You know your 6 months. You're gonna get the results. So just put in the work. Follow the plan. Do what you got to do.
Yeah. No. Totally. I totally agree with you on that. Now, like, it's funny how, like, 6ix9ine, he went on live with, like, Lil Reese, and, like, Lil Reese is, like, still, like, I guess he's, like, still in the streets and stuff like that, so he has, like, I guess maybe he does have stuff to lose, but at the same time, like, you can tell that he's not really about it, but for some reason he's still going live, whereas, like, people like Dirk's not doing that anymore. I guess, like, Dirk's trying to clean up his act.
Yeah, but Dirk's not even in Chicago anymore. But I think
Where's he at?
I don't know, but he's not chilling in O-Block.
But he's the voice of the streets.
But he's not in O-Block anymore. He's in Atlanta with Little Baby, and he's just out. You know what I mean?
Well, you don't know that.
Because with Little Reese, I'm pretty sure. Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm pretty sure he's got charges that are tying him into Chicago, so he can't leave.
No, I think there was charges way back. Remember when there's like rumors that he shot that guy and it was on camera? This was like years ago, right? Mm-hmm. But I think he beat that case. But
I don't think Little Reese can necessarily leave Chicago. But
no,
because
Reese
if I was him, I'd have left O-Block because he's still in O-Block or whatever. But I would have left a long time ago because
I guess so. But he's not getting that bag. Like
that's exactly the thing. He's not getting the bag. I don't know if he has the bag to even leave. Well, he might be able to leave, but not for how long.
But even like Chief Keef's got charges all over the country, right? Like he just still goes wherever the fuck he wants to go, right?
And then with Chief Keef, he can't go back to Chicago. As of I don't know if he can now, but before he was in LA,
I remember
Chicago.
That.
Yeah, so
I don't know, man. Maybe maybe they're taking notes from Shmurda and trying to grow up a little bit.
Yeah. But I don't think...
Especially in, like, a place like Chicago, where, like, there's so much, like, violence in that city, right? And there's a lot of people who are trying to make a change within the community there, right? You got, like, Chance and Kanye, obviously, and, like, everybody's trying to take the more mature route. I guess NLE Choppa. He's out of Atlanta, but, like...
At the end of the day, I don't think niggas are listening to Chance's bullshit.
I don't know. Some people are.
Well, I would expect like the.
But it's the same people who are going to church, right?
Yeah, I would expect that like the fucking guys that are the older heads that are coaching kids at basketball at the rec center.
Exactly.
Listening to Chance the Rapper, trying to push Chance the Rapper down into the youth.
Exactly.
But I don't think the guys that are already hardcore in are listening to Chance.
Yeah, no demons listening.
You're gonna want to have. You're gonna want when Dirk did say, "I'm not trying to go to jail." I feel like that's when niggas were like, "Yo, that's kind of right, though." You know what I mean? But Chance the Rapper, I feel like he was already on that side where he's like, I don't think he was really in the trenches like that. He was from Chicago, but Chicago has a good side and has a bad side. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I guess so. Well, Southside Channel. Mm-hmm. Isn't the Southside of Chicago like the worst?
Yeah, the southeast. You got the parts of Chicago that are
Chance grew up in it, so.
But I can't see it.
So he claims.
Because I can't really see. Unless he's like, because if
you think he's gonna lie to Kanye though?
No, but if he did grow up in the rougher side of Chicago, I would expect him to have. Well, I can't really say this because I haven't listened to too much Chance, but I would expect him to have when Kendrick raps about Compton, and how like what's it called? Like I think it was Section 80, and then you have Good Kid, Mad City. You can kind of see where there was that conflict between him and his environment.
Yeah.
And who he actually was. With Chance, I don't really see that.
Well, I think Chance has always just been that kind of guy who's just like, you know what, let's not focus on this bad stuff. Well, and he found God, right? Like, he's a God-fearing man, right?
Yeah.
Above anything else. He's like, fuck it, let's just make some gospel shit.
Gospel music, but...
Let's throw a choir on everything. You know?
But that's where Chance loses me. I don't know. It's too corny. If he did grow up on the hard side of Chicago, Chance... all fucking praise to you, man, because you are the exact opposite of what I would expect.
Hey, man, he made it out the trenches, I guess. Made it out
the trenches, yeah.
Yeah.
But even Juice WRLD, that's another top, because Juice WRLD is from Chicago, too.
Yeah.
And his music wasn't necessarily
not
Chicago
entirely.
drill type shit, but he had references.
The content definitely falls in line with that kind of stuff, but at the same time it kind of sounded phoned in, you know?
Yeah, it
like he was just rapping and just saying these things, because you know when people freestyle at a party and they just talk about like all this shit, like guns, and just because it's like easy to rap about, right? But you know they're not really about that. Yeah, because I'm kind of on the fence with that, right? Yeah, because like he did grow up with like Bibby and them, right? Yeah, so like it's definitely plausible, right? I'm not saying he wasn't playing with guns and shit like that, but at the same time,
he seems like he was on the better side of the fence.
Exactly.
He was musically, he knew how to play like a couple instruments. He was musically inclined. He could sing.
Exactly.
So it's kind of like, okay, but let's not say hood niggas can't sing or play instruments, but like...
No, but they're not getting put into lessons.
Yeah, they're not getting put into these programs or like whatever it may be where you get the chance to do all this stuff, right? Yeah. But you never know, because I guess that's the thing with a lot of rappers. You never really know who they are.
Well, based off what they say. Okay, this is gonna sound kind of out of pocket, but I was just talking with a friend today about how R. Kelly, that dude can't even fucking read, but this guy was a fucking musical prodigy, right? Terrible human being. Yeah. Don't get me wrong, piece of fucking human garbage. But this guy just fucking took to it naturally. He was just like, oh yeah, this sounds nice. You know.
But that's the thing too. You have like that's where you get some of these guys. They don't necessarily ever get like these musical lessons or like how to write a melody or how to make a track. But then they come out of these places where they don't have this, and then they come out doing tens of times better compared to people that have had musical lessons, have had to take a recorder home for the third grade project. You know what I mean? Like with Kodak Black, he's extremely musically talented. He's not. I don't know if musically talented is the word I want to say, but he's extremely talented.
Oh yeah, totally.
Like he can make a track. He can make songs, and he's just a project baby, as he says.
Exactly.
He gets out of jail or whatever, and he's gonna make a banger. He's done this a couple times.
And that's the thing, we all know Kodak can't sing, right? He tries, he can't sing. But that's the same thing with like Kanye. We all know Kanye can't sing, and he, in my amateur opinion, is a fucking genius.
Yeah, no, Kanye can make some great music. He can't sing, but he can make. He makes it work. He can make it work. He can make it work with what he has.
He was the one who said that the human voice is like the greatest instrument, right? And he proved that like time and time again throughout his early years, right? Shit, man, like no one was using the vocoder like that.
Because even with Kanye, even sometimes when he raps, he's not even really rapping. He's just kind of talking. Exactly. He's not rhyming. He's not like. He's just kind of talking, but it sounds good. It's
the cadence, it's the inflections, right? It's the attitude, good. It's the punchlines, right?
It's like everything. It's like everything that he's doing. He's weaponizing it all.
No one else is shrieking on a track like that.
Yeah.
Hey Alexa, play Freestyle 4. Yeah. But again, you just can't judge a book by its cover, right?
That's the thing.
You can't judge a book by its upbringing either, right? Mm-hmm. There's some diamonds in the rough out there from Sierra Leone. Well, we're still on.
But that's the thing. Like you get these guys that come out of nowhere, and at first, even Little Baby, when he first came out, I was like, okay, he's good, but I didn't expect him to be doing as good. I didn't expect anything for Little Baby, but I think that's what makes it so amazing. That he just kind of just blew everyone out of the water.
Well, that's the thing, right? Like, he came out at the same time where you're getting, like, a dime a dozen of these. Yeah. Like, you know, like, and he was right alongside Gunna. Mm-hmm. Gunna was great back then. Gunna is long, like, you know, he is not, he's not really, like, you know, kept up to pace with everybody else, and it's just kind of the same bullshit over and over. Meanwhile, you have Lil Baby, who I kind of boxed in, and again, I didn't have a lot of big expectations for him, and he's just skyrocketing. Like, honestly, I haven't felt this way about a artist, but I think he's like the new Wayne, man. Like,
yeah. And that's something that, like, I think me and you talked about it, and I was like, yeah. Or you said it to me. I was like, yeah, Little Baby's a new Lil Wayne. And I was like, I was thinking the exact same thing, and I've seen that opinion. Like, it's not an opinion that was forced on anyone. It's kind of something that people just kind of like, wow, this guy's just...
I just came to the realization,
it's
right?
like, this guy's a new Little Wayne.
Yeah, like, I was just listening to his stuff, and I was like, the consistency and, like, the hunger and, like, you know, just really good rapping. Like, people want to say what they want to say about Lil Baby, but you can't put him in the same category as a lot of these other rappers out of Atlanta or anything like that.
Personally, ask me, I would say he's at the top of the game right now.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
He's at the top of the game. Sure. He hasn't missed. The thing is, he's been dropping so many tracks. You would think, like, at least a couple would be just bad. No, he's just been winning.
Verse. I haven't
heard a bad verse. It's like he's just been consistently winning, and he knows what he's doing.
Yeah, absolutely. For sure.
He's one of the rappers, I feel like he went into the quarantine. But his last album, I think My Turn, I think it dropped a couple months before quarantine.
Yeah, that was my album of the year last year.
Yeah, for sure. But since then, he's just been on a great run. My Turn Deluxe is really the point.
And then he released the Obama song.
Oh, yeah. What's that song even?
The Bigger Picture?
The Bigger Picture. Oh, man. That song makes me tear up sometimes. I'm like,
I know, right?
It's like, holy.
I know, right?
No, that's the thing. Little Baby's just fucking amazing. Let's just say it for what it is.
Yeah, congrats.
And
anyone, to Little Baby and all his
anyone that tells me that Little Baby's he's not up there right now, I'm just gonna...
Just do your homework.
I'm gonna write you off and say you don't know what you're talking about.
Exactly. Just do your homework.
I don't want to hear anything anyone has to say after that.
Yeah, exactly.
Because do your homework, you understand. If you actually listen to what this guy has to say, it's like, wow.
I bet there's some people out there listening to us talk about Kanye, and they're like, yo, what the fuck? He's crazy.
Do your homework. Again, do your homework.
Exactly. Do your homework, man, because you don't know what you're talking about, man. Like, I'd like to think that I know what I'm talking about.
Yeah. As far as Kanye goes, I know, like, there's some things that I don't want to come to terms with because I'm a big Kanye fan, but you can't write him off as not one of the greatest artists of our time.
Well, you've heard that, you know, like, a lot of times nowadays, especially with, like, the Me Too movements and, like, all this other stuff, there's, you know, people get these artists and these, like, famous people get these allegations put against them, right? Yeah. And then it makes it hard, like, it kind of makes it hard for you to listen to their stuff. So there comes to the point where it's like, do you separate the art from the artist?
Exactly.
Or do you accept them as a whole? Or is it possible to accept some parts of them?
Yeah.
And then, you know, kind of, you know, I think it's possible to still like an artist and, you know, not agree with, like, dude, okay, I'm probably going to get fucking shit on for this, but, like, Kevin Spacey? Yeah. There's some pretty serious, crazy, fucking weird allegations against him, but he is still one of my all-time favorite actors.
Okay, with the Kevin Spacey thing, I'm just gonna say I was never really a big Kevin Spacey fan. No, I'm not gonna say he was a bad actor, but I'm gonna say I didn't like him enough to be like, because even
okay, I got something for you though. Yeah. How about you just do your homework? You ever watch Seven? Incredible.
I watched Drive. He was pretty good in that movie.
Actually, House of Cards was great until he left, and then it sucked.
But yeah, no, I'm not too big of a Kevin Spacey guy to be like, okay, separate him from that.
But, like, that's just an example, right? There's so many artists, right?
With Kanye, personally, I was like, okay, Kanye's already an outspoken guy. He's always been an outspoken guy. So everything he says, especially politically, I'm not going to agree with, right? So why the fuck would I give a fuck what Kanye has to say about politics when I like Kanye because he's a great artist?
Well, that's the thing. People are so quick to be like, oh, you like Kanye and like because of the whole MAGA shit and stuff like that. It's like, look to your best friend. You don't agree with your best friend on all things political and shit like that. Like, fuck off.
No, exactly. One of my best friends, he's extremely right-winged. But the thing is, we have these conversations. It gets pretty heated, but like at the end of the day, he's still one of my best friends.
Does he drop hard R's?
He doesn't drop. But he's like, no, okay, I wouldn't say extremely right-wing, but I'm like, he's like, his whole family is conservative. The dinner table, they talk about conservative ideas.
I'd say that goes,
you know what I mean?
I'd say that goes for a lot of people that we know,
Yeah,
like,
so...
Just coming from...
But like, and then me and him, we have these talks. And then sometimes it gets pretty intense, but like... I wouldn't really understand what he has to say if we never had these talks, because sometimes I'm like, oh, he's kind of right about.
He's got a point.
He's got a point, right?
That's like with Kanye, It's like, you know what, you may like the whole Joe Rogan episode. Like if you actually listen to it, it's like, yeah, he's got a lot of good points. He's got some crazy good quotables in that, right?
Yeah.
But people just kind of like. It's a lot for them to take in at first, so they kind of see it as just like this incoherent rambling. But if you actually, I know it sounds corny, but like read between the lines and actually just kind of try to understand where he's coming from, even though he goes off on all these certain like different tangents and shit like that.
Because
he's got some points, man.
Because the what's it called? The headline will say slavery was a choice.
Exactly.
But when you actually listen to what he had to say, I'm not saying this is right. He was saying that some slaves were told, "Hey, we don't gotta be out here like this." But then they were so like, just I guess
indoctrinized,
brainwashed, that they were like, "What are you talking about?" Like, no, like even like when slaves are free, they're like, "No, we're not free, right?" It's because, like, this is the life that they have lived the whole entire time.
Right.
And it's kind of like when you tell someone, like, oh, hey, man. Like, it's kind of like even modern day when it's kind of like there's some things that, like, we just do. We don't know why we do them. But we do them because that's just the way shit has been so long. Yeah, that was more his point than not, oh, yeah, people chose to be slaves, right?
Yeah.
Like, when someone, like for example, you're waiting at the street corner. There's no cars in sight. No, you can't see a single car.
Okay.
But because the light doesn't tell you can cross the street, you don't cross the street.
Yeah.
That's exactly
I even catch myself doing that sometimes too.
Yeah, I do that sometimes. Yeah, and it's like, okay, I'm not going to cross the street because it says I can't cross the street yet. There's no cars. No one can see me cross the street.
Yeah. And
unless I have some sense of urgency, I'm just going to wait here.
Yeah, and I think with like Kanye's argument about like that slavery is a choice thing, it's like you can directly apply it to a lot of his peers in the rap game. Yeah. These people, they get big by talking about like all this rapping and killing, shooting people in Chicago and shit like that. But then they make it out of the hood, they get big, and they don't have to be doing that shit anymore, and they're still doing it.
They're still doing it, yeah.
Right. Like for example, like when Young Thug was at like the airport. And he was just, like, shitting on these, like, flight attendants for just doing their job. And he was calling them, like, peasants and shit like that.
Yeah.
It's like, first of all, like, you don't have to be treating them like that just because you have money, right? But you have this kind of, like, this idea in your head that just because, like, you have money, you're better than everybody else. But at the end of the day, we're all human beings, right?
Exactly, yeah.
I don't know. He's a complex individual himself, Young Thug.
Yeah, that's one guy I'm going to tell you I do not understand. The thing is, I could literally watch thousands of hours of footage of Young Thug. I could hang out with him, be by his side all the time, and I just would not understand that guy.
And that's the thing. He doesn't have a lot of interviews out of him, like, actually, like, talking one-on-one. Like, even that one that he did with Adam 22 is, like, very just, like, reserved. And, like, it's just, like, hard to make sense of that. But, yeah, like, I would say he's, like, in some sense, like a genius as well, right?
Yeah, no, he's a genius. He's on his own lane. He doesn't preach or like he's not as outspoken as Kanye, but he's definitely in his own lane. He does what he wants. He thinks what he wants, and he doesn't let anyone else decide what he's gonna do next. And that's one reason. But the thing is that he's not outspoken. So, like, you can't even really tell what this guy's thinking. That's why I can't put him in a box, right?
Yeah. I'd imagine if he was a lot more outspoken, people would call him crazy too, right? They would be going after him like, yo, what the fuck's this guy on? Not just because he wore a dress a couple years ago, right? Like,
yeah.
But yo, did you see his fucking he changed his profile picture on, I think it was like Twitter.
To El Chapo's wife's fucking, what's it called?
Her mugshot?
Her mugshot. That is insane. Honestly, even on this podcast that not a lot of people are probably going to hear.
Yeah.
I don't want to say anything.
Let's tread lightly.
Yeah, I don't want to say anything.
Like academics was saying, he's like, I don't want no smoke with the cartel.
He was like, you know what I want to say, right? But I don't want any smoke with the cartel. Even that was enough for me to be like, you might catch some smoke with the cartel.
Exactly. But we did have to touch on it. Anyways, moving on. How about that Tiger Woods shit, bro?
That was insane. Where was I?
Can't believe he almost died. That's crazy.
Yeah, I was at Boston Pizza, actually. And then I'm talking, and then on the TV, it's just like Tiger Woods single car accident. His car was flipped over. It looked like he went over a hill.
Yeah, they had to use like the jaws of life.
Yeah, that gave me Kobe vibes. I'm not gonna lie.
No cap.
It gave me Kobe vibes. I was like, holy,
for real. I haven't like looked in too much to it, right? I just kind of seen like the headlines and stuff like that, and I kept going in passing. I seen this one about like how the car that he was driving could have saved his life, and I guess it was like some like Hyundai, like I don't know, some crazy like sports SUV or some bullshit.
Yeah, but the thing is, it didn't look, from the picture, it didn't look like a newer car. It looked like a vintage, like. It was weird.
He was pulling the YK Osiris.
Yeah, he was pulling like don't quote me on this, but it didn't look like a newer car. It looked like one of those cool 1980s cars that you see people driving, and they kept it really clean for the longest time. But I'm not 100% on that. But from the picture, that's what it looked like. But yeah, there wasn't a bunch of coverage on it. It's like niggas just didn't care. They're like, oh shit.
It's like he's like, what is he? He's got to be like almost 50 now, right?
Yeah,
like, he's pretty old.
But like he was.
That's the type of thing an old guy would drive, right?
Yeah, but like it's just like niggas didn't. I want to say there was some coverage on it, but like not on my newsfeed. Like I seen it on a TV one time, then I seen it maybe once or twice on Twitter. But at the end of the day, niggas didn't really care that Tiger Woods got into
I guess so. I guess so. Once you get past a certain age, it's like, yeah, I guess that makes sense, you know.
But even with Tiger Woods, he was very popular. No, I wouldn't say popular, but he was very, like, I guess, I don't know what to say. But I would expect people to care, but no one really watched golf anyways. Niggas just knew Tiger Woods is good.
Exactly.
Niggas knew Tiger Woods is good at golf.
And then his fall from grace was when that whole like cheating scandal. There was like, no, we can't claim you. You're not even that black anyways. So it's like,
was he black and Thai?
Yeah, some Asian or something like that. Yeah, something like that. Yeah, it seems like lately there's been just like a lot of like these like older athletes like popping up in the news. Like you hear about like who was it? Evander Holyfield is like training Jake Paul.
Jake Paul, yeah. What's even Jake Paul's next fight? But that's insane.
Like that's like if Customato was still alive and he just like started like training like fucking I don't know, ninja. You know? Like what the fuck?
No, that's really weird, but
there's gotta be a bag involved, right?
Well, the thing is, I think there is a bag involved in this new celebrity box. Not even, I guess, celebrity boxing, YouTube boxing. You got these guys that people want to see get into a fight. People that talk a lot of shit want to see them get into a fight.
Well, I think it's like boxing, like these celebrity boxing matches are like they're like even better than like, you know, like how everybody used to have like a roast battle, like a roast back in the day. It's like, yeah, that's good and all, but like let's hear all the shit talking and then let's see you guys punch each other in the fucking face a bunch of times.
Because I feel like that's even better than like, you know, when like one celebrity's beefing another and they're trying to cancel each other, trying to get people to hate one another. Like get into a boxing ring and talk that fucking shit.
Exactly.
Talk that fucking shit and back it up. Because even Academics, he posted, he said, which rapper do you think can knock out Jake Paul? And I started thinking, I'm like, oh shit.
Which one? Who do you think? I don't know.
Would you say like fit Like in the, like just a fit,
like if
or
with the right,
put them in the ring.
No, with the right training. I mean, there's some that probably you could just like they could just go in, maybe, I don't know. But I'm saying like with the right training, like Drake probably, you know, he'd probably like if you put the money up for a good trainer, I'm sure you could probably fucking get some nice fucking hands.
Get some nice hands on Drake, but I no offense, Drake. I don't think you could beat Jake Paul. As bad as that sounds,
respectfully,
I don't think you could beat Jake Paul, because Jake Paul, I feel like he has more of like this hungry ego to him, where he comes, where he's just always like the person no one wants to see win. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I guess so. Jeez, I don't even know who would be a good. I don't know. Jake's got some fucking guns on him, man.
No, he's got some guns on him, and he's been athletic his whole life.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah,
actually,
his dad was heavy in the military. They did military training since he was a kid.
That's a good point. They were flipping those big ass tires.
So
like
as much as you want to say, man, but that sounds kind of rough, man. Who could beat Jake Paul in a fight?
You know what? Like, this sounds a little bit crazy, but like Riff Raff. Dude, this guy was like training hard for like months just like to get fit. Like he got off drugs and shit like that. Yeah. Just got fit. And like this dude was like, yeah, I'm just eating 2 pizzas a day, and he's just like fucking gaining like a bunch of fucking muscle. Like his biceps are huge, man. Like he's actually like a really fit guy.
I feel like Riff Raff could do it.
Yeah, I think he could do it.
I could see it.
I think he could put his mind to it and just.
The thing is, it's like, I don't think. It's not that I don't think a lot of rappers could beat Jake Paul in a boxing match. I just don't think they're fit to that level. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just a build thing, because Jake Paul, he's naturally like a bigger guy.
Yeah, I think Riff Raff would actually be a good,
because I feel like a lot of rappers mentally they could beat Jake Paul in a fight.
Yeah, because that's a lot of boxing too. Is like the mental, right?
Yeah, it's just mentally a lot of rappers could beat Jake Paul in a fight, but then you still need a rapper that has a bigger build.
Yeah.
And that's going to be able to train like to the point where like, okay.
Actually, you know what? That would be the ultimate fucking celebrity fight if Riff Raff boxed fucking Jake Paul. That would just be hilarious. And then Riff Raff just knocks him out.
Yeah.
That'd be crazy.
I'm still waiting for 6ix9ine to respond to Riff Raff for that.
Oh, he's not going to do shit like that. He's not going to do shit like that. Yo, speaking of rappers fighting, you see that video of Playboy Carti?
Oh, yeah.
Getting ran up on in the streets by some random.
Yeah, and he tried to... and he punked those niggas off.
Yeah, because this guy is talking about... Let's see how you really built. Fuck the pistol. And then Cardi... And then you don't see it on screen, but you hear it. You're like...
Yeah, just... Yeah.
That's embarrassing. Imagine recording someone like that, and you're like, fuck the pistol. Let's see how you really built. And then you get your ass smacked by a guy who's wearing fucking... elevator boots.
But then that's the thing. There's Playboy Carti. Okay. He doesn't have the toughest image out there. And you got Little Uzi doesn't have the toughest image out there.
They look like
but they're about the action.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, like Uzi chased fucking Rich the Kid down the street.
Yeah, no, these guys. There's no doubt that I know these guys are about the action. When it goes down, they're about it.
I wonder how many dudes in Philly back in the day that Uzi was just like, "What's up?" and like just beat their ass, just beat the bricks off them.
Yeah, no, because there's always
that would be so like emasculating, just having like some guy who looks like an Oompa Loompa with like purple dreads just beating your ass off.
But the thing with Uzi, there's always those shorter guys that have hands.
Exactly.
And then the problem is, they're short. They have hands. They'll be all in they'll be all in your shit.
Yeah, they got good center of gravity.
Yeah, you need distance from them. They're not going to give you the distance. They're just going to be all in your shit, fucking hitting you with the left, right, hit left, right.
They get on the inside, and they got that speed, too.
Yeah, exactly. And you're not going to be able to hit them the way you want to hit them.
Yeah.
Uzi doesn't come off as a tough guy, but I know that guy.
Well, that's the thing. Like, Cardi always talks about like how he's like a shooter in all of his music and stuff like that, and how he literally doesn't fight. He's like, oh, fuck the hands. Like, he's just going to shoot you. But then this time he's like, you know what? Fuck the pistol. And just smacks this guy.
And the thing with Cardi, he got arrested a couple months ago. Was it a couple months? Maybe even a year ago. When they just found like some pistols on him, drugs on him. Like, hey, this guy's about it. And and that was the point where he hadn't made music for a long time. He was just kind of just chilling. He was just doing him, right?
He wasn't dropping a whole lot of red, that's for sure.
He was just chilling. They just caught Cardi on a bad day, and he had guns, he had drugs, he had money, like all that next shit. I can't remember what he was doing, but
yeah.
So you can't really judge a book by its cover.
There's some people that you would never expect it, and then there's some people that you would absolutely expect it. Like someone like Pusha T. It's like I could like when he didn't have a kid, like I could see him carrying around a gun and shit like that, and maybe even like a bunch of coke on him, maybe, or like Freddie Gibbs. Freddie Gibbs, like that guy just looks like a gangster.
Yeah, this guy, I say sometimes he looks like Tupac fucking reincarnated.
Gangsta Gibbs, man.
Yeah.
That was a great podcast he did with Joe Rogan.
Yeah, if you guys haven't checked it out, check that one out. That one was good.
Yeah, Brian Moses, the comedian, that was great. I didn't even know they were linked up like that. Mm-hmm. But it was pretty fulfilling to see him like in like a podcast format. Like
honestly, I've watched quite a bit of Joe Rogan's podcast. That was one of the better ones.
Yeah, I mean, because like he does have a lot of his comedian friends on it, right? And he did have Brian Moses, but like Freddie Gibbs is just like a naturally funny guy. Yeah,
right? That was good. They were talking about boxing, they were talking about other stuff, and it's just like Freddie Gibbs was engaged in the conversation. He knew what was going on, like what everyone was talking about. That was a good one.
He's talking about like shooting a crackhead with him. Literally at the first minute that it opens up, he's like, "Yeah, I shot a crackhead 9 times. He just didn't die." Like, who else is gonna say that but Freddie Gibbs, right? And I think it's so funny because like like I'd imagine Joe Rogan did his homework a little bit. I can't see him like listening to Freddie Gibbs on the regular, but like Freddie Gibbs did have a Grammy nominated album come out last year. He's heavily involved with like Madlib and shit like that, and like he's been releasing solid project after solid project with he did one with Currency a couple of years back, and one with Alchemist this year. Last year with it's called Alfredo, and like, so I'd imagine Joe Rogan did his homework on him a little bit and just kind of listened to the content that he raps about. But like, I didn't think he'd expect like Freddie Gibbs to just be rapping about like selling cocaine and shit like that.
Yeah.
And, like, so, like, I think it was funny because, like, you kind of see Joe Rogan kind of caters to some of his guests that he wants to be, like, friends with and shit like that. So, like, they're on the subject of, like, talking about, sorry, spoiler alert for anybody who hasn't seen it, but, like, they're on the subject of, like, talking about, like, people, like, cartel people who, like, they're like, fuck, they don't sell drugs in the U.S. anymore. They just go to Europe because it's easier and they don't spend as much time there. And Joe Rogan's like, that's how it should be. You know? They should only get 18 months. It's like all of a sudden Joe Rogan's okay with people just flipping kilos of cocaine.
Or even when they were talking about, he was like, yeah, what's the difference between someone drinking an eighth of whiskey or doing crack?
Yeah.
He's like, it's the same thing.
Yeah, it's like, you're only saying that because Freddie Gibbs is literally talking about selling crack. Like multiple times. Like Freddie Gibbs just can't stop talking about selling crack on that podcast. That's just hilarious, man. Never in a million years would have thought I'd seen something like that. But like, hey man, it made for a great fucking episode.
That was a good episode. I like that episode. Yeah. It was very engaging.
Yeah.
Especially for 4.5 hours, it was a really engaging episode.
Oh yeah. I think I want to go back and re-listen to that.
Yeah, because there was some stuff that they were talking about. That's the thing I like about Joe Rogan's podcast. There's always something that he says or like his guest says I would never expect. Like I would just never know about.
He's got some.
They have some very interesting points, and I'm like, holy shit.
He's got some of the better. Like that's how he gets the viewers, right? He just posts the excerpts on YouTube, and people are like, oh, I gotta check out the full episode, right?
Or like when they were talking about how Mike Tyson was 190 pounds at 13 years old.
Yeah, it's wild. The fuck?
And then he had to fight 16-year-olds, and no one believed he was 13. 190 pounds at 13. I'm not even 190 pounds. I'm fucking 25 years old.
Actually, that's another thing, too. I'm surprised at how much Freddie Gibbs knew about boxing and shit. Yeah. I didn't know he was into boxing like that. But you gotta, he is 38, so he's a little bit of an older head. But I had no fucking idea that, they're all, that's the thing, though. Joe Rogan will always find a way to talk about, fighting in some way or another. So I don't know if people like kind of just do their homework beforehand, or if they just like they have that common knowledge.
I feel like Freddie Gibbs already knew that because they were talking about those smokehouses where they had these little underground fights, and then Freddie Gibbs was like, they call them smokehouses because everyone was smoking cigarettes in them, right?
Yeah, that makes sense.
So I think Freddie Gibbs kind of already had his knowledge on that.
Yeah, that totally makes sense for sure. Freddie Gibbs actually recently released a new track, "Winter in America." Get this. What is this? It's from. I'm assuming this is a soundtrack. Black History Always. Music for the Movement, Volume 2. The same guy who was just talking about selling crack on Joe Rogan. Made a, like a politically, I guess, driven hip hop. It's pretty good though. I like the beat.
Yeah, I like that one. Yeah.
Shout out Freddie Gibbs, man. He's killing it right now. Yeah, so there's been a couple notable like new tracks that have dropped. Within the last couple days here, last week or so. That Pop Smoke.
Yeah, that Pop Smoke track was decent.
Actually, you know what? It's probably some of the best I've heard from anything that's been released posthumous.
Yeah.
Right? AP is what it's called?
Yeah, no, that should have been released. I think that should have been released a while ago. Yeah. Because honestly, it sounded
like Pop Smoke, right?
Yeah.
Like it sounded like something that he would actually release, not something that was, just kind of
put together,
fucked around with after the fact, right?
No, that sounded like a real Pop Smoke track. It sounded authentic. That's the one thing that amazes me about Pop Smoke. It's like he's I think honestly, as of recent history, I guess, he's had some of the better posthumous tracks.
Oh yeah, I'd say for sure. Like that whole album.
Yeah.
That was like there's a few where I was like, not really a fan, but like for the most part, I would listen to it. Like I would still throw it in rotation, Like,
yeah, exactly. It was. That just goes to show how hard he was working.
Oh, for sure.
He was just in the game, but he still had a lot of tracks that are like authentic to his brand, to who he was.
Exactly, and he had that kind of like unique sound, right?
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah, not many people were doing it like he was doing it.
Yeah, it's a damn shame. Rest in peace.
Yeah. Another great track. I don't know how recently it was released, but it's new to me. That Case Closed with Young Dolph and Key Glock.
Yeah, that was a good track.
That was solid.
Yeah, that was a solid
Those guys
track,
when they're together, they never miss.
Yeah, it's one of those combos that you need those guys.
Yeah, it's kind of cool seeing like Dolph like take Key Glock under his wing and like they slide on every beat.
Yeah,
they're floating. I want to know like where Dolph gets his beats from, because like a lot of them are like just actually like really crazy, but they all sound like, oh yeah, this is a beat that Dolph would rap on, right? And same with Key Glock, they kind of have like similar bounces to and stuff like that. So I'm curious, like I wonder if it's like from the same guy or like with the same kind of team or something like that.
Probably around the same guy, because Dolph's been in the game for a long time.
Memphis shit, man.
I wouldn't imagine him switching up.
Dolph's one of my favorites, man. Like I
how old is he? He's pretty. How old is
That's actually a good question. I'm gonna look that up right now. Dolph, what do you think? How old do you think he is?
I'll say late 30s, maybe even 40.
I'd say he's probably like 36.
Yeah.
Let's see. 35. I was pretty close.
He's been in the game for a while. He's still not signed to a label.
Well, that's the thing. A couple of years back, he was saying how like he wasn't completely independent and that he did take like a $3 million deal from like some sort of record label company. But his hustle and his legacy is like, it speaks for itself, right? You can't take that away from him.
And I feel like a guy like Young Dolph, he's getting money from everywhere.
Oh yeah,
that's all I'm gonna say. He's getting money from everywhere.
He's getting it out the mud.
Till this day.
God damn, 35. Yeah. He looks way older. He looks.
Yeah, I thought he was at least like the way he looks. I thought he was 40.
Like he's not. He's not cracking yet, but like I feel like this black would crack.
Yeah.
God damn.
How old was Key Glock then?
23.
Key Glock?
Yeah, he's a youngin.
Oh,
that's what I'm saying. He took him under his wing, right? You know that track 1997?
Yeah.
The Yellow Tape? Yeah.
Okay, so that's the year he was born. Oh shit.
1997, I came in this bitch flexing.
Oh shit.
I fuck with that track so hard. Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah. Another duo that I didn't really expect to hear from. But again, I think we touched on this with the last podcast about how Yachty's just been like popping up.
Yeah.
You know, doing his thing. And I feel like there's something coming from it. I feel like there's going to be like an album rollout or something like that. But he just dropped a song with Lucky. I don't know how familiar you are with Lucky.
Lucky's from the UK, right? No?
I don't think so. I think he's from Atlanta. I could be wrong. Maybe he's from Chicago.
I'm not too sure. I'm okay because the thing is, I know he was beefing with someone from the UK. Maybe he's not from the UK.
That could be true.
Maybe he's from Chicago.
See, I told you.
Yeah, no, okay. I think because on Twitter he was beefing with like another UK artist. No, well, not another.
I want to say like Night Lavelle. Is Night Lavelle?
No, Night Lavelle's from Toronto.
Is he actually?
Double check that. Let's double check.
Let's fact check that. I got the Google up anyway.
Yeah, so let's double check that real quick.
Night Lavelle. Oops, I misspelled that. Lavelle. Oh shit, Ottawa.
Yeah, okay, he's from Canada.
Okay. But they do.
He was beefing. Look, but the thing is, it was another like it was a smaller UK artist, and they just had this beef. I think it was because either Lucky or the other guy said that they wouldn't make a track with them anymore. But before the guy was dick riding him in his comments before they blew up, so it was something like that. But
yeah, Lucky's huge, and he doesn't actually get like a lot of the respect that he deserves for the sound that he basically curated. And there's a lot of imitators, right? There's a lot of people who try to do that shit, but his just comes so naturally. I don't know how to explain it. It's like this like sleepy, lackadaisical, like it feels like he's rapping off Xans, but also an Adderall at the same time. Like it's consistent flows, but it sounds like it's just kind of floating out of his mouth. Like he's just like, and another thing too is like. His songs are always like so short. Like that song that I did with Yachty, it's like 90 seconds long.
Yeah.
But you get 2 full verses in there. Actually, I think 3. I could be wrong, but like, yeah, it was just like I didn't expect to see those two on a track together. But
yeah, it's really
that again that shows like what kind of taste Yachty has. Like Yachty gets up with like a lot of these like artists that like not a lot of people listen to or like hear about.
Yeah, I don't know if like a lot of our viewers are on Twitter and all that, but Yachty had a track with Bass Savage.
Yeah, that's right.
I know. Okay, you probably aren't on Twitter, but I know you've seen this quote before. I'll serve crack before I serve this country.
Exactly. Yeah.
Bass Savage is basically one of the funniest niggas on Twitter.
Yeah.
And he's a rapper now too. He's from Atlanta. He's best friends with Yachty. Pretty much, like, or good friends. I won't say best friends, but yeah.
Yeah. Like
but Yachty also recently tweeted. This tweet got a lot of. It had a lot of interactions. He said, "I see something along the lines. I swear I'm better than a lot of these rappers out."
Yep.
And a lot of people actually agreed. I think he is better. I think he needs to reach his full potential. I think he needs. I don't know.
I'm gonna pull this one out, but you need to do your homework. Again, like, because he's been doing that shit. We talked about it last episode, but like, I feel like he has been coming to form, and again, especially with like all these like new tracks he's releasing, it shows his kind of like his range as an artist, because he dropped that verse on that BF the Pac-Man song. He was on that Kodak track, and now he's on a song with Lucky, and like I just never expected, and especially all within like 2 weeks span that you're doing that shit. That's pretty crazy.
But with all due respect, with a rapper like Yachty, I think he needs to really blow people out of the water.
Maybe to some.
He needs okay. He's been doing good. He's been doing all right. He's been doing good. He hasn't been missing, but I think he really needs to blow people out of the water and show what he's really got at the end of the day. You know what I mean? Something that'll solidify him back into the rap game as one of like these, because I know he can.
Okay, fair enough.
You know what I mean?
Fair enough. Yeah, another rapper that like I feel like has a lot of versatility and like can really like actually it's kind of crazy like his whole like background, but like Guapdad 4000, for some reason like he just like knows everybody in the rap game, and he can get like any like kind of placement he wants. Like he's like good friends with like Drake, I guess.
Yeah.
And like all sorts of people, just like these random fucking like. Even on like he's on TikTok, right? And like he'll like post his TikToks. He's like, oh yeah, this person, like he'll just name drop some random artists. He'll like, oh yeah, this person gave me these pants, and I was hanging out with Erykah Badu and shit. It's like, what the fuck? But he just dropped a track with it was produced by Ill Mind.
Yeah.
Which I thought was like, wow, that's pretty good. Like get under your belt, right? A song with
the thing with
Mind.
Guapdad 4000. Don't get me wrong, I haven't really listened to him, but. I think it was probably it was last winter. It was like early last winter, December.
Okay.
Probably so let's say 14 months ago. I was seeing him pop up like a bunch of places. Boom, boom, boom.
Yeah. He's big on Twitter.
He was big. And then I just expected him to blow up. I knew he was gonna blow up. I think he's another rapper with a lot of potential. I think.
Yeah, because for the longest time he was just like one of these sideline artists, but
for
some reason he had
he has a lot of potential. I thought I would have seen a lot more of him recently, but
yeah, he's like one of these sideline artists, but he had like these for some reason these big time connections. But now he's kind of coming more in the spotlight, and he's getting like the clout that he deserves.
Yeah, I think he was on J. Cole. Isn't he on J. Cole's label?
I feel like he was on that Dreamville record, like the
fourth one or whatever maybe.
You know the one that I'm talking about.
Yeah, right? He was on there because I was listening to that. I remember he was on there. So
yeah, and that's crazy because like immediately if you're on that album, you're already a Grammy nominated artist.
Exactly.
So that's crazy. That's crazy to think that someone like Young Nudie is Grammy nominated. Yeah. That's hilarious. That's awesome.
Dreamville. What was it? Dreamville 4?
I don't know. It's something crazy. I don't know, but yeah, I like the track. I'm excited. I'm excited to see what else he's gonna be releasing, because he has been releasing, pretty steadily throughout the last. I've been kind of following for the last year or so. So
yeah, I feel like his time is gonna come.
Oh yeah, you know what? After I know it was a slow start to this year, but I feel like there's gonna be a lot of good music coming out this year. It's starting to.
Oh, for sure. There's gonna be a lot of good music coming out this year.
I'm hearing rumors and all that stuff about some crazy projects dropping. So
because even with some of the the chemistry between a lot of these rappers now, they'll hop on tracks together and they just work perfectly.
Yeah, it's
before you would have some features and they would just be okay. One guy kills a track, the other guy kind of slacks. But now I feel like I don't know what's going on anymore.
I feel like there's some sort of air of camaraderie between all artists now, especially after the whole pandemic and thing. Well, it's still ongoing, but after the whole initial lockdowns and stuff like that, everybody was just in the studio working hard, so they start to get start researching other people's shit and reaching out to them and stuff like that, right? So I feel like there's a lot in store for us.
Yeah, because now it's you don't just get a random niggas on a track together. It's kind of they kind of make the track work, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah. It's definitely planned out, and big shout out to all the producers, man. The producers are working.
That's what I think. Right? That's one of the biggest driving factors.
They're doing a lot of the heavy lifting, right?
Yeah.
There's some mad talented art. Oh shit! Did we talk about that No Name track?
No.
Yeah, No Name dropped that Rainforest track, and it was produced by The Count.
The Count.
And The Count is he's a Canadian producer. He's well known for just kind of making these. He makes these time lapse segment videos on Twitter of him just composing a beat. So it'll start off with him shaking a tambourine or something like that, and then he'll hit a hi-hat, and he'll just like make these crazy funky beats, and they're all like, you know, like these 1 minute tracks and shit like that. But like, he's been gaining a lot of popularity amongst like the like producer community and stuff like that. Like he's getting shouts from Kenny Beats and shit like that. He was on a video with Illmind on YouTube and shit.
Okay.
But yeah, like it's cool to see that he's got like real production credits on this No Name track, and it's funky, man. Like it's you know, it's like if you heard the vibe that he kind of produces, it's very organic because he does do a lot of like recording of live instruments. He's got like a crazy fucking just a room full of like these weird instruments, you know, like some, I don't even know the fucking names of them, right? But yeah, I've been a big fan of him, and like also he's got one of the craziest stank faces. If you watch one of his videos, it's just like this guy is into this shit like so hard.
He's
like,
about it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, man. Really happy to see someone like that, especially a Canadian artist like that on a big track like that with No Name. But one more quick thing before we wrap this up. But I do want to give a quick shout out to a friend of the podcast, our homie Jordan, aka Titty Pop.
Jordan Blackshot, yeah, real nigga. Thank you.
Yeah, man, he's been dropping tracks pretty steadily. He's just started producing like within the last year, and he's shown some awesome growth, man. I'm really digging a lot of his tracks. He just sent me one just before we started this podcast. All I want to say is, you know, check him out on SoundCloud at Titty Pop. I think that's what it's called. I don't know. You can find him. Titty Pop. He's the only fucking guy named Titty Pop. But yeah, man, keep it up. Fucking loving the music, loving seeing a homie, you know, creating art like that. And I hope you guys all check it out, man. You got anything? Any parting words for the audience?
Oh, I gotta say, I feel like this was one of the better episodes. So, if you did tune in this far, go ahead and just put your friends on, because I feel like they'll thank you for that.
Yeah, man,
this is a good episode.
It's like new studio vibes, right?
New studio vibes. This is a good episode. I think we're getting the thing is, me and Robin recording for probably 7 weeks now, and we're like, yo, this episode's the best. This episode's the best. But I'm feeling like this one is the one. So if you did listen,
so far, if you just gotta stay tuned and see if we do anything.
If you did listen this far, I thank you so much. We appreciate it. Even the littlest feedback. We get excited over the smallest things. We hit 11 subscribers. We're like, yo, we hit 11 subscribers.
Yeah.
So just know that, we appreciate you listening to this.
Yeah, we fuck with you fucking with us. So
yeah,
we hope to see you on the next episode.
And any feedback, negative, positive, it's always good to hear. So thank you.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, that's it.
All right, man.
See you guys next week.
It's the Doing Something podcast. Peace.
Peace.